Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to yet another Ms. Reacts video. It's good to have these sort of content throughout the international break because there's a lot of shenanigans that take place during international break, and you're always going to have certain things that you can react to. And I always wonder what the audience, the viewers out there, you people out there, feel about certain things, and I think it creates a good discussion point. Now, the particular topic that I want to talk about today is Madueke. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular brother, Noni Madueke, he's all over social media. There's fans that are consistently labeling him as selfish. There are other fans that are consistently fighting for him and defending him. And I thought it's timely that we really talk about Noni Madueke in a broader perspective and try and have a balanced view towards this and really look into what Noni Madueke is all about right now, what is his future down the track, how does his competition look like, this, that, the other. But before we do that, we're going to try and play this particular clip from Faisal, I believe, and he's talking about Noni Madueke and he's labeling him selfish, and this is the center of the entire topic. So let's hear what Faisal has to say about Noni Madueke.
However, Noni, I have never ever in my life, and I've watched the sport for a long time, not as much as you, but I've watched the sport for a long time. For a long time. He is one of the most selfish players I think I have ever seen. He pisses me off sometimes on the right-hand side. He cut inside a couple times where the options were available. Sancho was available. Nico, Cole Palmer was available. Decides to shoot. All right, I let it go one time, 2 times, 3 times. Second half, bro. Every time he drives inside, cross it in, he decides to shoot.
Got the goal that way, though.
Deflection.
This is the argument, though.
Deflection.
No,
This is not the first game. This is
irrelevant.
not the second game. This is not the third game. His only good game this season has been Wolves. The last couple games. You know what I see sometimes? His body language when Cole Palmer scores against Brighton. You know what? Me, I like to look at body languages. When Cole Palmer scored the first and second, third goal, I saw Noni. Yeah, nice goal. Yeah, man, good goal. I saw jealousy. I don't know about that. Hassan. Oh my goodness, evil eye was coming. That's the reason why Cole Palmer never scored today. Hassan. I'm telling you, Noni is a bad. I don't think he should play. Bad team player should not be started. Put Neto on the right hand side. However.
Okay, look, a lot of claims being made here, right? Selfish, maybe jealous, and obviously his position could be in threat with Pedro Neto lurking just in the shadows. Now, let's try and break this down, right? Let's try and break this down. Let's talk about the selfish nature. I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I feel like there are better options available for him, but he ends up either shooting or doing something absolutely extraordinary. Now, I don't know whether I can call that selfish or do I call that bad judgment, because there has been times where Noni Madueke has squared the ball or has attempted to cross the ball. So I'm not entirely sure whether it's actually being selfish or whether he's got poor decision making, because you look at Noni Madueke post games when he's making commentaries, when he's delivering interviews, from his tone, his voice, and the way he's delivering his comments, he doesn't come across someone who is egotistic, who is selfish. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can tell the players that have that type of a nature about them, they come across in a different manner in social media, unless somehow Noni Madueke is very capable of hiding his true feelings. I personally, I understand why people are thinking he's selfish. I've seen it in the live streams when we've done watch-alongs. I get why they think he's selfish, because there is a clear opportunity to pass, but you've taken an option to shoot, which was probably more low percentage. I, however, think I don't think he's selfish. I actually think it's his poor decision making, because there has been times where he's tried to pass. Now, that in itself is a problem. Poor decision making should not be an excuse for, oh, I don't think he's selfish. I think poor decision making in itself is a big issue. So that I can say is a mark against Noni Madueke, as opposed to deeming him as selfish. You let me know in the comment section. Do you really think he's selfish, or is it part to do with poor decision making? Now, next point, jealousy, as Faisal said. Look, I don't know. Maybe this is a particular point where I could say, perhaps, I don't know whether I should say the word jealousy, but competitive nature, right? Now, look, the way Noni Madueke talks about Cole Palmer in media, just within the last 24 hours, he's talked very highly about Cole Palmer, saying he's a unique character, he's so good under pressure, and you can tell he's speaking from the heart. Like, he's not just making this up. So to lambast him as a jealous type of a player, I'm not sure about that, but competitive nature is definitely there, because we've seen Noni Madueke last season, and I think even this season in the preseason, where there was a chance to take a penalty and Noni Madueke goes there and he wants to take the penalty. Last season, we all saw the melee between him and Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson. So that competitive nature is there, which is good. Might sometimes come across as jealousy. I, once again, don't think it's jealousy. So we've talked about selfishness, we've talked about jealousy, and now quickly I want to talk about Pedro Neto's situation before I want to talk in a broader perspective of Noni Madueke. Pedro Neto, of course. Noni Madueke, if he continues to be inconsistent, and that is his biggest issue. When he scored that hat-trick against Wolves, every man and dog out there were saying, this is why we've got Noni Madueke. Look at the hat-trick that he's dropped. How could people talk down on him? And I was probably one of the very few that said, calm down. I need to see consistency. Thank you very much, and great that he scored a hat-trick, but I don't want him to disappear in the next 2-3 games and then score another one after that, and then once again disappear for 2-3-4 games. And that's exactly what has happened. He scored that hat-trick against Wolves, and even Enzo Maresca has said post-match in regards to Noni Madueke that, Noni, what happened? You scored against Wolves and then you haven't scored since. And then as soon as he scored against Nottingham Forest, he was pointing to Maresca. So even Maresca is saying and basically relaying the message in the same tune as the fan base, that Noni Madueke does well in one game and then he disappears for the next 3, 4, 5, whatever games, showing the inconsistency. So if that continues, Pedro Neto definitely should be taking over in the Premier League, and then Noni Madueke should be switching over in the Conference League or the Cup competition. Now, I want to talk in totalitarian about Noni Madueke. I think some of the criticism towards Noni Madueke at the time being, I understand it, but I think at the same time it's harsh. You know me from watching a lot of my videos. I'm probably one of the most harshest critics of Noni Madueke, because I've always said it from the get-go. Noni Madueke needs to show me consistency, and I've always stated that there is an underlying excellent skill set there, and I still maintain that. There is a reason why, once again, much like Nicholas Jackson, there is a reason why Enzo Maresca opts to play Noni Madueke. Now, I'm not saying that Pedro Neto can't do this, what I'm about to say, but there's a reason why Noni Madueke plays. His work rate, the way he presses, his work rate when he recovers and defends for the team. I know he gives away silly free kicks here and there, which then ultimately hurts us. At times it has hurt us. But his 1v1 quality, his ability to, from that right side, at times, I know this is once again going back to the inconsistencies, but at times when he does click with his shooting, he can be a devastating player on that right side, especially 1v1. If you can isolate him with 1v1 with a particular opposition, then it's trouble. It's trouble for the opposition. Now, everything that I've just mentioned here, Pedro Neto can definitely do. So, in a totalitarian, Noni Madueke, I get why he starts. There is a good skill set about him, but the inconsistencies hurt him. What about his future? Pedro Neto, in the immediate sense, is someone definitely can do all of that I've mentioned about Noni Madueke, probably even at a better level. Pedro Neto 100% has a great shooting technique, excellent 1v1, and I think his judgment, his ability to make better decisions in the final third is probably a lot better than Noni Madueke. So in the immediate future, Noni Madueke's time looks bleak, because if he continues in this vein, he must show consistency. And even in the longer term, you've got players like Esteval Willian, you've got players like Kendry Paez who are going to come into Chelsea Football Club. Noni Madueke, he really needs to step up. And it's not that he doesn't have the skills that I've just said. It's the consistency. He must deliver on a regular basis. Now, no one's saying you got to score every game, you got to assist every game. No, but you've got to look decisive. Noni Madueke's biggest problem is he doesn't seem to look decisive. There are so many times he'll get the ball on that right side and it looks like it's going to turn out to be a tasty situation. But you know deep down, this guy's probably going to blunder the scenario. And more often than none, he does blunder the scenario. I've maintained this many times. All Enzo Maresca needs to do is potentially sit down with him, play the clips, and actually just coach him that, Noni, you just got to make better decisions. Lift your head up when you're dribbling. Look around you. Look for options. The more he has that in his mindset, the better he's going to get with far better execution. And that's what's lacking, the execution in the final third. So, ladies and gentlemen, look, personally, I think Noni Madueke is overall a very good player, but the inconsistencies kill him. I don't think he's selfish. I think it's more to do with his execution. It's poor, and that's something he can work on. I don't necessarily think he's jealous. I do think he is competitive. One really good point, I don't know if you guys have heard this, if you guys have missed that episode between Ryan and I in the That's Life podcast. Ryan said something really, really interesting, and I think it holds true with Noni Madueke. Noni Madueke, every time he's faced with a challenge, every time his role, his position is under threat, he goes and he drops a fantastic performance. Maybe he's that type of a player that needs to be under pressure. He was under pressure before the Wolves game and then he dropped a hat-trick. Now slowly he's getting under pressure and then he scored the goal against Nottingham Forest. I guess there's two ways to look at it. How do you keep this player under pressure all the time to deliver? Or the other way to look at it is, why can't he motivate himself without the pressure? Sometimes the pressure is not going to be there and you're going to have to deliver. And in Noni Madueke's case, the pressure is always there, my man. Why do you wait till the pressure is at its pinnacle point? You need to be even delivering when the pressure is not at full force. The best of the best, the elites, they motivate themselves. They drive themselves. They don't need some extra pressure to come and give them the push to feel like they need to do something. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Madueke. Me personally, I think there's a good player there overall, but if he keeps on being inconsistent, then his time's going to be up at Chelsea Football Club. That's the way I think about it. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.